Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So it was a bit of a day to forget for the dollar yesterday after inflation did creep up year on year higher to 2.9%, so further away from the Fed's 2% target towards 3%, but it was kind of priced in because it was expected. But all three top indices in America hitting record highs, the Dow breaking 46,000 for the first time ever, and also gold is now gearing up for another record high as well. So lots to digest, lots for traders to jump on these big opportunities as well. So where does the Fed go from here? It is looking likely that they will cut interest rates by 25 basis points, even though we did get a bad jobs data last Friday in the NFP. Also inflation creeping up higher, as we just spoke about. So it's looking likely that the Fed will have to ignore these kind of things because initial jobless claims did come in quite nicely yesterday. So it is a bit of a role reversal with the NFP job numbers, initial jobless claims. Oh, don't forget they're coming in weekly. So let's just get straight into the charts. Like I said, the Dow Jones breaking 46,000 for the first time ever, having a little bit of a consolidation phase at the moment. But look at this momentous push in yesterday's trading, really bullish, moving over 500 points. And as I said, breaking another record. The only thing is now that the RSI is trading vastly overbought, so we could have a bit of a pullback there, but we're just waiting to see if price action is going to start looking a little bit further down and to see if basically if the S&P and the NASDAQ are still going to possibly come a little bit further down as well. As you can see here, this bullish momentum just keeps on giving, and from the beginning of June we've just had this vast bullish channel moving higher, breaking peak after peak, 6,000, 6,500. So now we're just looking to see if there's going to be a little bit of a slowdown because we are seeing a little bit of a bearish divergence being attracted on the RSI. So this is looking likely that prices could possibly have a little bit of a downturn before we see another upturn, that's for sure. Looking at the NASDAQ as well, similar scenario, not as bullish as the S&P, but as I said, looking at this next peak, which is quite vastly overbought at the moment, but as I said, like the S&P, looking at this bearish divergence on the RSI, so we could see a little bit of a correction before another move higher. But when is this bullish rhetoric going to slow down? When are we going to stop? Well, it would just be about the Fed's meeting next week. This would be the main catalyst, excuse me, if we're going to see any surprises from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Don't forget, Donald Trump is still trying to get him out of that hot seat. So we're just seeing if that's going to have any bearing, any difference on the movement in the next few weeks, that's for sure. Let's just take a quick look on gold since we mentioned it, because we're just seeing now that price action, just looking likely that we will see another test at this record high and potentially moving a little bit higher. So we did have a brief come down at 36.75 approximately at the previous record. A bit of a slowdown naturally since these bearish divergences did come into play. It's a little bit extended now, but gearing up for another record high, that's for sure, and possibly moving a little bit higher. So that will be, we'll look at gold and digest gold and dollar over the weekend and into next week's videos. But for now, just keep an eye on the indices if they're going to keep on pushing, and let me know what you think, if there's a correction around the corner or are we still going to keep on moving higher. And that's all for today. So thank you very much for joining me. As usual, this video will be posted on our YouTube and Telegram channel. So stick with us, stay ahead, trade responsibly, and we'll speak again next time. Bye for now.